What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess. Thanks for clicking on today's video. I've got a short and sweet video for you today. I'm basically going to recap the past 90 days during our New Year Better Me Weight Loss Challenge. For those of you that might just join us, the past 90 days we've been focusing on nutrition, exercise, and then combining the two in the third month. And being that we have 1 week left, we're in the home stretch, and I'm going to try something that will determine next month's weight loss challenge. So if you like to see weight loss challenges, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. I personally like to keep things interesting and moving along, because when you are overcoming obesity, it's a long journey. It's not something that's an overnight fix. I've been on this channel now for many years, and I still haven't figured it out, but I have kept it interesting and I've kept it going because I like to change things up and make it so that, you know, I'm learning all the time what I'm doing right and what is not working, and then keeping that plan moving forward. So that's the basics, or the cliff notes of what we do here on this channel. And also, I like to think that if you're going to change your life, you've got to change everything in it. So what you may have been comforted in by the past no longer works for you, and you've got to find new ways to make things make sense. So that's why overcoming obesity is just so hard. You know, you literally have to change everything about your life. And with that said, the life that you want to live is on the other side of the stuff you don't want to do. And identifying the stuff that's in your way really will help you crush those goals, or ultimately lead to more of the same, you know? And it's just one of those things that is just so frustrating, yet seemingly so simple. But if it was that simple, everybody could do it. You know what I'm saying? So this video will be about this next week, and also the fitness goal that I want to do. And yeah, so stuff like that. So anyways, let's get this video started. And real quick, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Element. Element electrolytes have been my absolute favorite brand of electrolytes. I've been using these now for several years. They are the only brand that I do reach for. And Element is my favorite because of the science-backed ratio of electrolytes. Each packet contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium in each packet, all while being sugar-free, gluten-free, no artificial flavors, fillers, colors, that kind of thing. Just a delicious tasting electrolyte. I prefer to add 1 packet of electrolytes when I am working out, when I'm trying to do intermittent fasting or extended fasts, or another reason to just get my water in every day and make it taste good. And also just keep those gaps closed between the hunger. You know, if I'm hungry, sometimes I'll just get a sip of water with electrolytes, and it just takes that edge off and bridge those gaps between meals. My favorite flavor is the watermelon. You see it all the time on this channel. My kids love the orange. My husband loves the citrus, but you can get this free sample pack with any purchase. And this way you can try all of the flavors and find out your favorite. But you can get this free sample pack using my special link with any order. Use this as many times as you want, but this link and promo is only available through me. So go to drinkelement.com/keto rewind and get this free sample pack with any order. Thanks, Element, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the rest of the show. So the theme for this week's video is the life that you want is on the other side of the stuff you don't want to do. That quote hit home for me because there's been one thing that I've been avoiding for a while now in this challenge specifically, and that was logging macros. It's because I don't want to do it. I hate logging macros. It takes forever. It's tedious. You know, I already am so thin on time, especially spare time, that it just makes it hard. It's just one more thing I have to do. So our schedule for spring sports is crazy, mainly because both of my daughters now play select softball. They're on 2 different teams, 2 different divisions. They have 2 different practice schedules, but yet they're both gone every weekend with softball tournaments. We're usually out of town, and there's traveling involved. And in addition to that, my youngest daughter also plays volleyball. So between the 3 teams, there's so many practices, so many games, and it's just one of those things that it's so hard to take more time for me when I have so much stuff on my plate. I don't have help here. I don't have family that lives close by. I rely on my village here of friends to help us out. So it's one of those things where, like, I just don't have time, and it's one of those things that's a convenient excuse. So, but it's the hurdle or the elephant in the room that I have not been able to conquer because I didn't take that time to see what is going on. And nutrition is such a big part of this weight loss journey. So I have been avoiding logging macros for the mere reason that I don't have time to do it. So yes, it's a convenient excuse, but it doesn't count. It's if I want to lose weight and if I want to live a life that's on the other side of my reach, I have to do things I don't want to do to get to that side. And that means I've got to start logging some macros. I got to see where I'm at. When you log your macros, you can really see where things are going crazy. I know I have not lost weight in a couple of weeks now, and I know it's because of nutrition. If I'm not taking into account, you know, all of the things I'm putting in my body, it may seem like nothing, but like you're licking a spoon from a peanut butter knife, you know, making my kids sandwiches, those are calories that add up. And I don't pay attention because it just seems so little at the time, but they're calorically dense calories. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't write down and see everything that you're putting into your body and see it all add up on a grand scale, it can fill in a lot of those gaps that you are like, what is happening? How come I'm not seeing a movement on the scale? I'm getting all this exercise in. How come the scale won't budge? You know, it's a real easy way to find out where the holes are in the ship. So, but again, it's tedious and time consuming. A lot of people don't want to do it. And me including especially. It's like, I think I can do it, but my perception and reality sometimes are like this. Not even close. Here's my perception. I'm doing all the things, but here's reality, you know, down here in where it really is. So I thought for this next week, I need to really hit home and log these macros. So being that we're out of town most weekends with all these tournaments, it does prove a little challenge when you're trying to have everything perfect, right? Because I have to rely sometimes on restaurants or concession stands if I'm not unable to bring my own food. Some of the parks don't let you bring coolers in, so it's one of those things where it's like, oh. So on the weekends, I couldn't sign myself up for something super strict without trying to like find a happy medium. So I'm setting, because I am still going to try and log my macros. In my settings for Carb Manager, this is probably similar in other calorie or food diary apps, I'm setting it to low carb, high fat. So the macros are going to be 12% is going to be carbs, 25% will be protein, and 63% will be fat. So in my daily total of like 1976, I think I'm set to, those are the percentage of carbs, fats, and protein. So I'm going to try and stick to more simple foods. You know, if it's easy to order a burger out, you can pull the bun off or request it with lettuce. You know, most restaurants can accommodate for you, you know, maybe have a side salad or maybe just do 2 patties instead. So I thought that'd be an easier way to just accommodate eating out, is keeping things to a very simple, you know, no casseroles and stuff that have all kinds of ingredients. Because again, when I'm trying to log macros, I'm trying to do it in a timely manner. You know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, that stuff, it takes a while out of your day to get going. Once you're more established and you're doing it and kind of have an idea, then you can like, you know, copy and paste foods into your food log. But when you're just starting out and just like weighing and measuring everything out, it gets a little tedious. It's time consuming. So simple, keep it simple, right? In addition to that, meal prepping is going to probably be clutch. I'm going to have to do some type of meal prep for the weekends where I'm bringing whatever I can, maybe a cold salad, and, you know, and some chicken or something I can keep in a cooler when we're at the parks and softball fields. So this like lots of meal prep, and I can do a bunch of those at a time, you know, and maybe have some sort of rhyme to my reason. But either way, this next week, I'm going to be testing that all out. This next weekend, the last weekend of the month of March, both my girls are like this. One's this way, one's that way, and out across town. So I can't even rely on my husband to help, you know. So this is going to be all me. It's a challenge that I'm looking forward to. It's a challenge that I need to overcome. It's been an obstacle for a long time. I've been avoiding it, and I know that if I just took the time and logged my foods, I can have some answers of what's going on, because I've been on basically a plateau for the past couple of weeks. Scale's not moving. So that means I'm eating too much or I'm not moving enough. One of the two or a combination of both. But if I'm not logging every single thing I put into my mouth, I can't see how things are adding up and how much I'm actually eating. Because again, the perception and reality, it may not look like you're eating a lot, but when things are calorically dense, things add up quick. You know, keto typically is a more fat-based, so those are higher inputs in your food diary, if you will. So it's a lot harder to stay on track when you're eating smaller portions that don't seem like they're bigger because they're calorically dense, right? So with that said, it just comes down to I've got to take some time and log some foods, even if it's a week. I got to see what's up, and I'll have some answers. You know what I mean? And then based on that, we'll plan our next monthly challenge. So in addition to logging my food in a food diary, I'm using Carb Manager. I also want to make sure I'm getting 10,000 steps a day because again, yes, nutrition matters, but you also have to move more too. That's my way to de-stress. That's my way to get out the crazy. The weather's fantastic right now. I want to get out and move. So for the next at least until it's 1,000 degrees out here in Texas, I'm gonna get those 10,000 steps in. I'm not gonna set some type of like, I have to walk 3 miles every single day. That's not gonna work. My goal is I gotta move and get those 10,000 steps. However I get those 10,000 steps it doesn't matter because I do help out with my daughter's softball. So I'm out there helping on the field. So just because I may not be walking 5 miles that day doesn't mean I'm not moving somewhere, somehow, you know, getting reps in with softball. So that's one way to really help get the stress of all the rest of the day out as well. So by moving. I put my headphones on and I go for a walk and I come back a changed person. I will say every single time, the last thing I want to do is go out and walk because, you know, it makes my hair, as soon as I start sweating, my hair curls because I have curly hair, you know, and like, then I'm like, I got to take a shower if I sweat really bad. And, you know, so all those excuses, but then I just get out and do it and say whatever. And when I come back, I'm such a changed person. I don't care if I'm sweating anymore. I don't care if my hair curled. I don't care if I have to take a shower. I just feel good, you know, and then that starts making better choices for the rest of the day because that little yes turns into a better mood, a better everything else. And it just, you know, it just works. But I will say, there's never really been a time where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go for a walk, you know. So it's just one of those things where you just got to do it and then you'll feel better afterwards. Just get over that first step and get out the door, you know. And then also I read a lot of books when I have downtime, and I was thinking of doing an audio book. So maybe instead of letting myself sit on the couch and read a book and like have my feet up, what if I used going out for a walk as like an incentive to read to my book? You know, so instead of sitting in a couch reading, I'm moving, listening to the book. Or, you know, I don't have a treadmill, but one other option would be if I could put a Kindle on a treadmill and read while I'm walking. But for me, I'm considering rewarding myself with a walk, and maybe I can stay out longer if I'm reading or listening through my ears instead of sitting on a couch, because movement matters. And you know, now I'm getting, my book makes me feel good because I like reading a good book, and I'm also moving my body, so all the good juices are flowing in my body. So and then on top of it all, summer's coming, you know, and I've got to get some of this weight off. You know, it's like I want to get to my goal weight this year, and it doesn't work if I'm sitting on the couch in a plateau, in a weight loss plateau. So I hope that all makes sense. I hope you guys have found joy in the past 3 months of this challenge as well. I hope that you did learn stuff. It's not only about the weight loss. It is about what we learn in the process in addition. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this 3-month weight loss challenge. I would love to know if you're still with me, you're still doing it, and you know, in the trenches. If you've learned or anything stuck out to you, comment below so other people can learn. So with that said, I have to go get my walk in. I've got to get my water in. I've got to make sure those steps get in, and I got to start logging those foods. So I will see you guys at the next one. Comment below if you are going to track some macros with me, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. You're watching Keto Rewind.